97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
This documentary titled Ase Chronicles only seeks to highlight some of the main challenges cocoa farmers go through when cultivating this cash crop. So I took it upon myself to visit some cocoa growing areas in the eastern region. The eastern region, together with the Bonahafu region, contributes some 19% of total cocoa produced in this country. So in the eastern region, I visited Breman, I visited Kroji, I visited Abamkrom. In Asamankese, I visited Yaotano, I visited Amantena. In all what I did, I tried as much as possible to let the cocoa farmers be those articulating the main issues, the main concerns they had. But even before we deal with the main issues that were raised by the cocoa farmers, there was the need to highlight the issue of access routes to these cocoa growing areas. In all the budgets that have been read for some time now, you would see there have been some allocations that have been made to cocoa routes or access routes to these cocoa growing areas. I can tell you the roads are in a deplorable state. From Adeso to Asamankese is a simple example of one such road where there is the need for serious attention. I think for those stakeholders who need to construct this road, it will be important for them to visit that area and deal with this road. I'm also told the Asamankese to Suhum road is also in a deplorable state. Simply, all these cocoa growing areas had bad road networks, so it will be important for all stakeholders to come on deck and deal with this issue, because if you consider the importance of cocoa to our economy, then it's quite unfortunate that the state of their roads are that bad. So when you look at the importance of cocoa to the Ghanaian economy, the fact that it's the fourth largest export earner to the country behind gold, oil, and non-traditional exports, the fact that every year we are expecting some $2 to $3 million to the economy from this cocoa sector, and the fact that even now we are expecting some $2 billion as part of the syndicated loan to help shore up the value of the city. In my interactions with cocoa farmers, there were occasions where some of the farmers did confirm that they were receiving support from Cocoa Board right at the planting stage with regards to getting inputs. They were getting some form of support. The mass spraying exercise, even though it had reduced, the number of times they were getting it had reduced, they were still confirming that they were getting support from Cocoa Board. There were some farmers who also said they had not received any form of support from Cocoa Board at the planting stage, getting inputs with regards to fertilizers, even the mass spraying exercise, they were not getting it. And they also raised one particular issue: politicization of the distribution of inputs from Cocoa Board and the mass spraying exercise. This issue has been an issue that has been running for some time now, and I think authorities must quickly deal with it. I tried to get some responses from Cocoa Board at the head office, and they said they had taken some initiatives to delink the political office at the district, that's the DCE, from the distribution of inputs and also the mass spraying exercise. But as to whether that was helping depoliticize the process on the ground is another issue altogether. So it behoves on Cocoa Board to go to the cocoa growing areas and deal with this particular issue. Now, let's go to the tail end of the production chain, the issue of selling your harvest to the licensed buying companies. Cocoa farmers are crying and they want some increase to the producer price of cocoa. Already we've heard the president say for the 2014-2015 crop season, there will be some increases in the producer price. Regardless of the assurances that have come from the president and the chief executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board, the cocoa farmers on the ground have a simple message. They want the producer price of cocoa increased. And considering the fact that we are seeing some people smuggle Ghana's premium cocoa to neighboring Ivory Coast, I think it behoves on the authorities that they should step in and adjust the prices, adjust the producer price of cocoa, so it could motivate the farmers to actually do what is expected of them. So in the whole story that's being told in this Ase Chronicles documentary, there is quite an interesting bit to it. There is the hard issue and there is this soft issue of the 19-year-old daughter of S.K. Amejo, one cocoa farmer I visited in Amantina in Asamankese. Her story is that she has completed Asinya Senior High School and she's hoping to go to the university and ultimately be a policewoman. But she's currently at home.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What were some of your best subjects in school?
Science and engineering.
Are you hopeful of a good result?
Yes.
When are your results coming up?
I don't know.
Okay. But you've been in the house for how many months now?
I think a month.
Okay. So you just completed. You're a fresh graduate.
Yes.
Okay. So you would want to be a police officer. Would you want to go to the university?
Yes.
What university would you want to go to?
So regardless of whether Josephine passes her exams or not, it is only the amount of money that will be available to her father that will determine whether she would go to the university or not. And this will be greatly impacted by the adjustment to the producer price of cocoa.
97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.